Welcome to One Question at a Time, the TSI series, question number 28. A history class is made up of 12 10th graders and 9 11th graders. So let's highlight some of the given informations. So we have 12 10th graders and 9 11th graders. The 10th grader average is 77, average 77 for the 10th graders. Okay, and then for the 11th graders, the average is 91 on the midterm exam. So the question is, what is the average grade for the entire class? We also have the keywords here is the average. What is the average, right? So the average is calculated by we add all sum of all observations. So for example, in 10th grader, right? We have 12 students, and then that 12 students, each of them will distribute some of the score, right? They earn some point on their test. So we add all 12 score from those students together, then we divide by 12. So that we have the average 77. So right here, we have a sub 1, a sub 2, a sub n. Each of this one is stand for one student. So student number 1 in 10th grader, student number 2 in 10th grader, up to 12. So n equal 12 in this case, okay, for 10th grader. So for 10 graders, okay, the average is the sum of 12 graders, 12 10th grader, the sum of the score, okay, sum of the score or the rate. Score that the test score or test rate. Okay, and then n is how many students involved in this average. So 12. Average of 10, okay? 10th grader. All right, we also have what? We also have 11th grader, right? The average of 11th grader will be the sum of all score that 9 students involved. 9 11 grader distribute in their grade or their test scores. Okay, how many totals? They have 9 students. Okay, so now for the entire class. For the entire class, we find the average of it. How we calculate it? So entire class is include what? 10th graders and 11th graders, right? So how many student totals? Okay, so how many student totals for the entire class? So we have 12 from 10th graders, and then we have 9 from 11th graders. The total is 21 students for entire class. Okay, Now for the top, we want the sum of all students, right? And the sum of all students is the same thing as we find the sum. Let's write that down. So we have like the sum of all students over 21. And the thing is, the sum of all raters is include the sum of 10 rate and the sum of 11 rate, right? Over 21. Okay, so we have this one is the unknown. This one is what we need to find out. So the sum of 11 graders and then the sum of the 10 graders right here. Okay. Now go back to the questions. We will see that what is the average of the 10 grader? The given is 77. So we write down right here is 77. That equal the sum of 10 graders, okay, over 12. Now our target is the sum of 10 right here, okay, and that is how can we solve for it is we multiply both sides by 12. So on this side we cancel that 12. Now the sum of the 10 graders, that will be equal to 77 multiplied by 12. I just leave it like that. Okay. Now how about the average of 11 grader is 91. So 91. That equal the sum of all students in 11th grade, right? So sum of 11 graders divided by 9. So we do the same thing. We multiply both sides by 9 to isolate the sum of 11 graders, the score of all students in 11th grade. That equal 91 times 9. Okay, now when we plug it in, we have sum of the 10 grader is 77. So the average of the class is that is the sum of 10 graders will be 77 times 12, and then add the sum of 91 times 9 divided by 21. So to break this down easy, we can say 77 times 12, okay, plus 91 times 9 over 21. Okay, I will break that down. Okay, so 21, I will break that down in terms of 7 times 3. 77, I will break it down at 11 times 7 times 3 times 4. 12 is 3 times 4. Okay, 77 is 11 times 7. Then we have 91. 91 we can check and it can divide by 7. So 91 divided by 7 is 13. Okay. Then we multiply by 9. 9 is 3 times 3. Okay. Since We have the 3 and the 7 is the 21 factor on the top and 21 at the bottom. Okay, so we take this one. Let's highlight it so you can see it. So we have on the first term right here, we have 7 and 3 in common. Okay. The second term right here, we have 7 and 3 in common. So that 7 and 3, all 7 and 3 will be canceled out. Okay. What left is we have to calculate that equal, we have to calculate 11 times 4 is 44. Here is 11. 11 times 4 is leftovers. Okay, so 11 times 4. Then we have 13 times 3. We add 13 times 3. Now, it will be 44. 4 times 11 is 44. Plus 3 times 13 is 39. Then 9 plus 4 is 13. Write 3, remember 1. 4 plus 3, remember 1 is 7 plus 1 is 8. So 83 will be the average of the entire class for the midterm exam. So the right answer, the correct answer is B. Sometimes you can do the 77 multiplied by 12, right? And you have the answer right here. But it just takes time to doing that instead of just write it down and then break it into the smaller, like the compositions of it, so that when you break it down, you see what in common, what you can cancel that out. That easier to do it, like just multiply, then adding, then the multiplication twice, then you do the additions, then you do the division. Basically, we just make the number smaller to work with. So 11 multiplied by 4 is plus 13 multiplied by 3. That is easier. Okay. If you have any questions, please comment in the comment box below, okay? I will try to answer all of the questions as soon as possible. Thank you for participating in this series. See you next time.